At last, we finally managed to get a CAMMUS C5 into the Simracing corner. So yeah, really intrigued about this hardware. It's such a unique looking wheel that it's something I had to check out, so I'm glad it's finally arrived. I have the full bundle, which is the wheelbase, the pedal sets and the table clamp. Now there's something to note is you can buy the wheelbase by itself, you can buy the wheelbase and the pedals bundled together. But in either case, it doesn't include the desktop clamp here. So that's something worth noting. Now it does come with a bracket, which they call the T bracket, but it doesn't include the table clamp. So whether or not you buy it standalone or you buy it with the pedals, that is a separate accessory. Next, we'll take a quick look at the pedals. As you can see, out of the box, they do require some basic self-assembly, but there's not much to it. You screw these to the pedal deck. You screw the pedal faces to the pedals, very simple. Taking a closer look at the pedals, you can see there's extra drill holes, so it is height adjustable. That's the motion of the pedal. We get some rubber feet for grip, so you stick them to the bottom of the pedal deck. However, it's also pre-drilled for hard mounting if you prefer that. So you've got two ways of using this pedal deck. Housed in this box here is the controller board and also some sockets. So at the back you can see there's a USB Type-C socket and also an RJ style network socket. Now according to the documentation, the USB Type-C is for plugging directly into the host device. Now I expect that means the PC, so you can run it directly to the PC over USB, or you can run it directly to the wheelbase. That's more specific in the instructions. That is for hooking up to the wheelbase. Inside the box, we only get a USB Type-C cable, not the RJ style one. So when we open this, we'll see if we get some extra cables. But right now, all we have is this cable. We also have obviously some screws, etc., and an Allen key for attaching all these pieces together. Now, if you look down the side here, you can see all the way through. Now, there's like a keyhole there. And that's designed for the pedals. Now it's got a really clever way how they've made this work. Now the pedals don't have any wires on them, but they do have magnets on here. And they are attached to this little lever which moves with the pedal. And inside here is a magnetic sensor. And this slots directly into the hole on the side. So when we move the pedal, that little lever moves with the magnet on the end, and then it's picked up by the actual sensor here. So that's how the pedal motion is picked up. So very good, very clever little idea there, so quite unique. And here the pedals fully assembled. Now those rubber pads, which I first anticipated were meant to be distributed around this pedal deck here, actually go on the pedal frames according to the instructions. So I followed their lead and put them where they've suggested. And yeah, they seem to sort of hold the pedals in place. Obviously, when we get to use them properly, we'll see how that goes, but I'm sure that'll be fine. Spring tension in both the pedals, to me, seems the same, but not too bad. Actually, you know, reasonable spring tension there. And you can see the rake of the pedal there. So very much ideally suited for being on the floor under your chair. And there you go. I also took the opportunity while assembling these to also put together the table desktop clamp. So all steel, of course, and with some foam protection pieces as well that you stick on yourself. It is actually slightly angle adjustable. I've set it in the middle position, but you can see there's extra screw holes there, so you can kind of move it up or down, so you can just change the rake of the wheelbase when it's attached to whatever tabletop you eventually attach your wheelbase to. But yeah, a pretty good table clamp there. I think that'll do a fine job. Now let's move on to this bad boy. Have a look at that. Wow, that's heavy. That is actually very heavy. Let me put this to the side as there is some extra pieces in here. We'll have a look inside that box. Well, that's curious. There's an extra fan. Maybe that's in the instructions. Some more screws, etc. Power cable. It's a USB cable that looks like to the PC from the Wheelbase, the power supply, and the T bracket, which is a curious old thing that goes, which is the bracket that's included, which is why I said, you know, if you do be careful. If you do get this, make sure you get the table clamp, because I'm not sure how you'd really use those in any other way other than attach it to the table clamp. Some stickers as well, which are actually unlabelled, so I'm not sure why you'd really want to use those, but okay. Well, it's just some extra furnishing if you want to use these on the dials, but otherwise I don't see why you would. You've got a nice carbon fibre finish on there, but nevertheless that is included. So let's take a look at this power supply. The wattage is 140 watts. Well, 139 point something, but 140 watts. Okay, and finally the wheel itself, and it is a really fascinating piece of hardware. The motor and wheel are all integrated into this really thin profile unit. It is heavy. So there's a 5 Nm motor in there, and it's all built into that. The wheel is not replaceable, it's all kind of part and parcel of this assembly, as you can see there. Now, just to demonstrate how thin this is, let me bring in the wheel and button plates from the 15 Nm CAMMUS. So this is just a standard, you know, wheel rim and a standard type of button plate. And the C5 is actually thinner than this wheel and button plate with a quick release on there. Isn't that amazing? Now, if you look at the back, we can see all the inputs. Now, what I thought was maybe the USB cable was for the piece, goes to the PC for the pedals, actually goes into the back of here. So you can see there is a pedal connection there, and also the handbrake. Now it makes me wonder that the RJ socket on the pedal set is for maybe the 15 Nm CAMMUS. That's how you plug those pedals in. Also, you can see there's a fan socket here. And that mystery fan, I've worked out what it is, and I'll show you what that is in a moment. But also we have a reset button, a power switch, obviously the power plug, and USB. This stays static, and the wheel basically rotates around this sort of hub piece. And these, this T bracket essentially, I guess it goes that way up. And that's how it attaches to this actual table clamp. But more interestingly, is that fan actually goes in there. It's a blower, so air goes in the top and blows out of there. It cools the back of the motor by blowing towards it. So if I open up, you can just see how it's screwed on. Those blower fans can be quite loud, but maybe if it's not rotating too quickly, it won't make too much noise, but we'll find out. We'll find out in the review. The wheel diameter is 27 centimeters, and it's bang on the same as a G29, G920, G923, and I can show you that right now as I have a G29 wheel right here, and if I just put it over the top, it's like a total eclipse of the C5. It fits absolutely perfectly, and you can see even the sort of diameter of the grips and everything else is very, very similar, other than that piece here, but it does feel very much like the Logitech wheel, which is a nice feeling wheel, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to, you know, copy that design, quite honestly. We have sort of like a faux leather stitched type of material. It's very nice. It's got a bit of texture to it, so it's grippable. You can see that. It's not completely smooth, and yeah, it feels very nice in my hands actually. Yeah, this feels good. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Everything looks really nice on this, I have to say. This is a carbon fibre plate, rev lights, a little display for gear and speedo. Buttons feel decent. There's plenty of buttons here. You've got a decent amount of tactile there. They're not too soft, so that's quite nice. And we have 3 dials here, and they have a nice tactile click as well, nice and solid. So yeah, pretty happy about that. I mean, everything on here is very nice. We do have paddle shifters, and as you can see, they are absolutely tiny little things. They do have some tactile to them. They feel okay. So you can hear just a little bit of a click, I can feel that. The paddle shifters are very close to the rim, so they do need to be small for that reason, otherwise they will trap your fingers behind them if you're trying to use them. So yeah, I get that. And due to the overall compact nature, hello Simcat, you going by? Hello? What's up with you? Okay, where was I? Yes, because it is a compact unit and we have this rotating piece, it'd be difficult to actually have the shifters out here without interfering with the insides here that rotate. So yeah, it's sort of like a balance of features and compromises and conveniences and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think it's okay. Certainly not too bad. They look kind of weirdly small, but they seem to be functional, and I can get to them easy enough. That doesn't seem to be an issue. Does it matter? Probably not. As long as they get the job done, I'm going to be perfectly happy with that. And they feel okay. They feel okay. Yeah, well that's it guys, that's my unboxing for the CAMMUS C5. Yeah, hopefully you learned a few things from this. When I do these unboxings, they are basically the seat of my pants. I'm taking them out of the box and just recording it straight to camera. So I'm learning stuff as much as you are when I'm doing these unboxings. There's no preparation, so yeah, a little bit scrappy, but hopefully there's a few interesting bits you've picked up from this. This will go into my review queue, and we'll get a full featured and detailed review out in the nearest future that I can possibly manage. But yeah, the first impression of this out of the box is it's very well made. I think the fit and finish of everything looks really good. For the price of this thing, it's really solid. It's all metal, good quality parts, that I can see. So I have to say, this is looking very nice. I'm quite impressed, and the price of this is very good. So yeah, CAMMUS have done a good job. At least my what I can tell, my first impression is I'm very happy with what I have in front of me. Now, is it going to perform on track? Is it going to be compatible with all the games you need it to be compatible with? I'll let you know in the review. Right now, I have no idea. But if it runs as well as it looks, then this is going to be a pretty decent wheel. So, but we'll wait and see for that, guys. But yeah, that's it for this one. I don't want to continue rambling on, but I need to get this mounted, and look out for more videos on this in the future. Hopefully, if I get some time, I'll do a drive and talk as well in the next few days, just as a early impressions on track. And there'll be some other bits and pieces on the channel, of course, featuring this, but even maybe before the review, maybe after the review. But there's more to come on this one. But yeah, very interesting piece of hardware, and I'm really glad I got one in, because it is such a fascinating, unique piece of hardware that I had to test it out. I had to have one to test out because it is so interesting. Anyway, guys, yeah, thanks for watching, and take it easy. I'll see you in the next one, and until next time, happy simming.